For this video, I'm going to quickly go through combos and animation cancels, and then we'll be going through a full game from when I was in GM1, breaking down the positives and negatives, and then at the end there will be a summary going over key points in Magik's game plan. So if you want to skip to that, you can, I won't mind. I'll leave it timestamped, so let's just get into the vid. I'm going to start by showing off the important cancels that Magik has, starting with primary into Magik slash, and then you melee, or you can do it the other order and do Magik slash primary and then melee. They're about the same speed, so you can do whatever you prefer. And for her other important cancels, she has her B&B combo starter and engage tool. All you do is cast Eldritch Whirl out of stepping disc, and then after you do that, use Umbral Incursion while the spin is still coming out, and the animation cancels both. Alright, so quickly combos, Magik slash full charge, and then Umbral Incursion and primary fire, simple. And then next you're going to do Magik slash no charge, stepping disc, Eldritch Whirl, Umbral Incursion to cancel it, and then primary fire. And then here's it, same combo but slower, so you can see the slash actually come out without the frame perfect cancel. And then for your ultimate, also very simple, you're going to do Eldritch Whirl and then just press your Umbral Incursion. And if you want to burst a support ult down like a Luna ult, if you full charge your Magik slash and then use Umbral Incursion at the same time, as soon as the projectile comes out, it'll instantly kill them. Okay, so quick viewing guide for this video. Two things you want to look out for in the video are my positioning as well as my team and enemies positions, and then my ability usage and the timing of the abilities, especially my porter follow-ups like the demon and Eldritch Roll, and then as well as my ultimates. Alright, now let's go over some of this gameplay. I'll just be trying to talk about what I do or what I'm thinking in certain spots of a match, or like what I default to when things are kind of just stagnant. But here at the start I misplay, like I won't lie. I should have waited for that Mantis to throw sedation and then portal and just react to it, but I didn't react to it there. And often you'll see that I'm just trying to poke with my Magik slash and then throw my demon in choke spots or where I expect the tank to be. And you see I don't want to play that choke, so I was like, alright, let me just try to flank around then. I get the flank, kill the Mantis, and it's a good play. We kill their mag. And then Jeff's way over there alone, it's fine. Star-Lord's dead because his team is gone, and then Thor's gonna go down here as well. And during that team fight, we win it because they played super far apart and it was easy to pick them off. Like Jeff is near the stairs, Mantis is near the top stairs on the opposite side, the tanks are pushed in. It just wasn't good positioning from the enemy team at all. And then you'll see I'm gonna try to flank around here, but I actually misplay this because I don't expect this Bucky to randomly jump into this room. It was very weird, and then I get by sedation and I'm just dead. So unfortunate play, kind of just happens. I see these two are up here. I'm gonna try to pick one of them off, but one thing is, since my Magik slash hit the Star-Lord and he's not really comboable because he has his flips and he can just combo out or flip out of the combo whenever he wants, so you kind of just don't go on him. And then here I pop my ult without noticing that my team goes down, and this is definitely a misplay because even though I probably could have killed both DPS and the Mantis there, I wouldn't have lived the fight versus the two tanks, and I also could have had my ult for this team fight instead. So sometimes just have poor plays, just happens. You want to try to stay as consistent as possible in these matches, like that's the key. Then you'll see they pop defensive ult, so I'm just using my demon, getting ult charge until it's over, and then you'll see, based on where I was playing, nobody turned around to help that Mantis because I was playing like within the team fight, but like somewhat behind them, so they wouldn't look, and they kind of just gave me the free pick on the Mantis, but we still lose the point. Even though I killed both supports, my team ended up dying. Kind of just happens. You can't always just win because of those picks, and that's just how it is when you're solo queuing and you're trying to climb. Your team's not always going to be playing fights the best. You just want to stay as consistent yourself as you can. Like that's the key to climbing on Magik, even though she's like honestly one of the most inconsistent characters in my opinion, because there's like a multitude of characters that can just ruin her game plan if they really want to. Like Penny's a pretty high threat, Thor's a pretty high threat, Mantis is a pretty high threat. Who else? Namor, big threat. Star-Lord's kind of a threat because you can't really kill him by yourself as Magik. Like you have to play for team. Like here, big example, he just flips out of my combo and then I don't even get very much damage. but I just try to stay as consistent as possible in these games. And then you'll see, since they're all walking up here, I just demon, and then he gets eaten, just dies. And then I ult onto the Mantis here. This ult ends up being pretty worth it because I can get 2. But once again, my team does just die here to the Star-Lord ult. And honestly, if my Mag lived a little bit longer here, we actually just win this fight because I would have beat the Star-Lord and the Thor. You'll see Jeff ulting. I will never get by Jeff ult. You just portal out of it. Every time you hear Jeff ult and you see that it's underneath you, just pop your stepping disc and then you're good. Like, you should never get by a Jeff ult as Magik unless you just randomly have no cooldowns. Which, if you have no cooldowns, you shouldn't be out in the open to where he's going to be ulting you regardless. But this team fight, good example of just going for the squishy. I simply just chose the target to take out. To go back a little bit, I didn't talk about it, but this Mantis is going to ult, and you'll see that I just stand behind this tree. I literally just wait it out. And then when it's over, I'm like, alright, bet, and then kill the Mantis. But we can skip back ahead. Here, I push up way too far without my team. Another mistake. Tends to happen when you're playing this character. Like, you most likely want to be playing flawlessly if you really want to be winning these games, but can't always happen. You cannot be perfect. You just gotta play to the best of your ability as often as you can. Enemy team extends really deep for this, and I'd end up just living. So, and then the Jeff again goes behind my team to ult. Poor play from him, just terrible play because he dies immediately. I get my ult, I immediately pop it, and they're all like pretty low, all like half health. So Mantis sleeps me, but the Thor, that's my guy because he just wakes me up for whatever reason and gets her killed. And then even that's a good ult. Like, I may not have gotten a whole bunch of kills, but I helped my team secure the point and secure the kills. So good ult there. Especially since if I held on to it for any longer, the enemy team would have built their support ults again. So I'm pretty sure they switched. Yeah, they switched off the Jeff here. I guess team probably very upset about him just ulting into my team and dying. But we pop our double support ults here. I see Mantis. I try to go to kill her. She does unfortunately get healed, but now that they're pushed off the point, then it's good. You'll notice all Magik is about is just creating space. Like, you do not need to be going like high frags, just whole bunch of kills, so much of solo kills and stuff. Like, obviously, you should have a decent amount of solo kills by the end of the game, like a good amount of final hits, but it's all about creating space more than anything. The more space you create to enable your team's gameplay, it's just the better, because it'll help you also. Like, you'll notice I'm not always just only on the back line. I'm very often in the front lines, just trying to like dodge as much damage as I can, like eat it with my portals, and then I'll also be throwing my demon to try to keep them off of like pushing forward. And then here, the Bucky solo ults my Moon Knight, and he just dies for it. He has no supports here. He overextend it, and we punish it immediately. And then again, I'm pushing the enemy supports just off the point. You see the invisible woman? She just, yeah, so she pops her support ult because she's scared. You'll see people panic so much when they have like any divers on them or like just a Magik like right in front of them. They will panic and pop ult just so they won't die, and then it'll be a terrible ult, and my team would be able to use their ultimates to the fullest because there won't be anything to counter or stop them. So yeah, we actually capped the point off with me forcing a support ult there. And then I kill the cloak. For some reason they just didn't back off, so I got a free chase. And then you'll see again, like, it kind of looks like I'm being aggressive, but I'm really just going in with my demons and closing off angles for them. And then I'm gonna pick off their support, pick off their tank. and that's another support down, and that's just a beautiful ult. You'll see that they're too split apart, so they can't really counter my ult very well if they're too split. That just makes it easy picks. So then we'll fast forward here. I know that I overextend and I'm pretty much dead, because as soon as I come out that portal, Spider-Man's gonna use his pull thing on me. So I just had to go in and see if I can get one after I already misplayed. We'll be going back in. I get back to the fight very fast because Magik has multiple ways to move forward. Yeah, you'll just notice they aren't looking at their supports, and I just take them out for it. And then here, my team, even though my team is dead, I make a lot of progress in our capping of the point. Like, we'll get all the way to 99% in overtime just because I stayed alive for long enough and they couldn't cap the point, which makes it perfect because now my team is already almost back and I'll be getting back there with them since I'm fast enough. And all we need to do is just win this next team fight, and then that's the game. So that was actually a really good like death. To some people, that probably just like, oh dang, last alive and you got some pity kills. Like, it's not really that good, but you'll see. And again, I forced the support ult prematurely because she doesn't want to die. And then you'll see I taunt on them because I'm like, yeah, we won this, just because they used their ult too fast. You'll see that support players will misplay just because of the pressure that you're applying as Magik. And that's why you literally just want to apply pressure. That's all it's about. And then here, pop my ult, and game is over. Like, this is game over here, without a doubt. Now that we've gone through the gameplay, I want to talk about key points of Magik's gameplay. First, let's talk about the big one, consistency. To be consistent, you must have the knowledge to know what is and isn't a good play. And it's all depending on the state of the game and enemy and ally positioning. So this knowledge will come over time. And it's just you need to spend time playing and watching the game to understand more. Second, you need to keep your fundamentals in mind. Magik can be either really flowcharty or freeform in nature, depending on what's happening in your game and your level of skill. But typically, you want to use your demons to chunk enemy front lines, keep the enemies pushed, kind of like creating space or putting a wall between them that they can't push past without being punished for it. And then you want to take your time to find an opening to initiate on the enemy backline, either disrupting them or just netting yourself a couple kills. And lastly, don't give up. Because you have a bad game or two, remember to take breaks and try to review your own gameplay. And think about how you could have played better, and then slowly implement the necessary changes you need. It takes time to improve, so when you're already feeling stagnant, you just got to keep going. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll be replying to everyone, and thank you for watching. I really hope this helps.